While on the subject of the ceiling inside the F-150, this obviously is the headliner. My truck stunk like mice. I mean, I thought I got everything out, but then I turned my attention to the ceiling because somebody put one of those Lund visors, which I don't care much for. And of course, they just run sheet metal screws right through the roof. So, while patching those, obviously I dropped the headliner out because, in my opinion, it was in pretty good shape. And I didn't want to, start a fire and burn holes through it. And I want to use it. I really like the brown interior. And the truck ultimately is going to be painted probably a brown, I think. So anyways, I found a mouse nest up there and pea stains, and it was disgusting. And I thought, am I going to be able to save this visor? The answer is yes. I started by cleaning both sides with some, all-purpose cleaner, and putting your nose right up against this side and smelling. You couldn't really smell anything. So that was good. That means that the smell's not coming through it at all, which makes sense because it's like a vinyl, which is sealed. And on the opposite side, obviously you can't see it now, but there's like it's kind of like a plastic or waxy coating, which would keep water from getting through, but that mouse pea was laying on there for a while and ate a hole through it. So it did get through part of it, and that's where most of the smell was coming from. So I already had this insulation. You might recognize it. You can get a roll of it at Lowe's. I don't remember what it cost, $15 or something. I already had it for some other projects. So I took this and I took some, liquid nail, and I just applied it on there. Some of it didn't stick too well, but it doesn't really matter because it's going to lay on top. The idea here is to seal that smell so it can't get out, and it doesn't. I mean, you could smell this thing right up against it. It smells like a fresh load of laundry out of the dryer. And that insulation is going to help, keep some of the heat out in the summer and hopefully keep some of the heat in during the winter. But it saved it. I'm not spending money on items that are pretty good. They just are a little bit problematic, like those visors. The visors match. And all my chrome had that granulated rust pitting on it. This is all the trim that holds that headliner in place. So I didn't want to put a lot of work into these. I've done this before where it's like you spend so much time on the little details that you miss the big picture. You never end up driving the project, and then you get tired of it, sell it, or it sits for years. So I said, I do not want to spend a lot of time on this. How can I clean these up good enough? This kind of pitting that occurs in chrome, whether it be interior or exterior, is not that offensive to me, especially on like a 40 or 50-year-old vehicle. It sort of matches the weathered appearance of the rest of the truck. So I used Coke and aluminum foil in the sink there, and you just rub over. If you're not familiar with that method, just YouTube it. That's what I did. I don't think I got as good of results as some of those people, but I'm not going to kill myself to make these things look perfect, and you'll never make them look perfect unless you get them re-chromed. So that's good enough for me, and I'll probably apply some hand wax by hand to these just so that they don't rust anymore. But here's an example of what it did look like. This is what it did look like. Let's compare, shall we? Quite the difference. One looks orange next to it, which maybe matches the headliner better. you know. So we're doing this on a shoestring budget. Hopefully this helps someone.